right, hello everybody. Welcome again to the Non-Sport Collective. I'm Tim Shay, and today I'm here with Huy Truong. How you doing, Huy?
I'm fine, thanks, Tim.
Thank you very much for being on, and we really appreciate it. And we're going to talk about some of your artwork here. If you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into art.
Well, I've been drawing pretty much all my life, but I did start out as an art teacher. I was teaching for about 13 years, but I did my time, and I remembered that I always wanted to do my own art, and I've always wanted to draw comics and pin-ups, and I eventually got around to just taking the plunge.
Awesome. Which medium do you usually work in?
I'm mostly traditional. I'm trying to learn digital painting, but it's slow going, and I get results much more quickly with traditional. So I stick with pencils mostly, but I can paint in oils, acrylics, watercolors, anything really.
Did you teach all kinds of mediums when you taught it?
Yes, yeah. I suppose the teaching gave me multidisciplinary skills and techniques. I taught everything from drawing and painting to printing, sculpture, ceramics.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What age groups did you teach? Like elementary or high school or college?
Yeah. Well, in the UK, it's called secondary, so it's kind of high school. It's from 7th grade to 11th grade.
Oh, that's awesome. How many years was it you taught?
About 13 years.
That's killer.
Yeah. Nearly did kill me.
So now you don't teach anymore as of now?
No, I'm full-time freelance now.
Excellent.
So I've stuck right into my artwork and yeah, loving it.
That's good. And then I know you do a lot of conventions.
Yes, I've been on the circuit for maybe 3 years now, and last year I went hell for leather. I did something like 24 weekends events, just to find my feet and find out what's best for me. This year I cut back and started concentrating more on the commission work.
Okay. How do you enjoy doing commissions? You like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still getting quite a wide range, anything from pet portraits to family portraits,
right?
To the more interesting comic book stuff and pin-ups and stuff like that.
And then you've done, looks like you've done some commission sketch cards. Have you done any sketch card sets? Oh
yes, yeah. I started that last year with Unstoppable cards and cultstuff.com. So I started on the Avengers TV series, and I did Sherlock Holmes, and I did a really fun set for Cult Stuff, which was burlesque art.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's now growing and developing. I've just been given some cards from Breygent.
Is it the STCC exclusive pile?
The Women of Dynamite?
Yeah, the Ladies of Chaos one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a package from them too. It was like a pallet.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. No, it's right down my street because it's powerful women pin-ups.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen you've done a lot of like fantasy art as well.
Yes. Yeah. I recently was asked to contribute to Lands and Legends fantasy art book, and I did a manticore for that book, which I'm really pleased with. Just the prospect of actually getting into like a glossy coffee table edition art book.
That's excellent. I've seen too you've done like some commission work where you put the customer's face inside of celebrities.
Yeah,
that's pretty innovative. That's pretty cool.
I call those my covers, like song covers. So yeah, they're like customized portraits. But I think the first one I got was a couple wanted to be inserted into an Iron Man comic book cover. Their faces on Iron Man characters.
That's cool.
And then it kind of grew from there. Yeah, I got a 2000 AD cover with a family group inserted it as Strontium Dogs. And then there was a Star Wars poster commission. And the whole family group were substituted for Obi-Wan and Han Solo and Princess Leia. That was really good fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That looks very challenging, but kind of rewarding too when it comes out like that.
Yeah. But it's also helped me sort of just get the grips with some painting techniques. I've been really inspired by Drew Struzan's techniques, and I've been picking up my airbrush again for the first time.
I've never picked up an airbrush, and I'm afraid to, so I just leave it down.
Well, I've picked it up again now for the first time since leaving college, but I'm using it completely like freehand and freestyle. I'm not bothering with masks and frisks and things like that.
Now, you said you were getting into digital art. How are you enjoying that so far?
I'm still getting cramp in my hand.
But, I see some artists that I know I'm inspired by that do digital work, and it's like they make it look so easy, but then when you try it, it's so hard.
That's right. Yeah, my hand-eye coordination is still quite lacking because it's just staring at the screen and not
right,
looking.
Your hands on the tablet, but everything else is on the screen.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I'm plodding along with that slowly.
Yeah, I've seen you do. There's a lot of different portrait work. It looks like you just did some freestyle, just going to town doing different celebrities and such.
Oh yeah. I've done a few of those. I mean, the one thing I do at conventions is I do sit-down portraits, and over the last 2.5-3 years, I've done over 800 portraits now.
Oh wow, that's just showing off, man.
Well, it's a real buzz. I feel like a busker at the conventions because it turns into a bit of a spectator sport.
Yeah, that's not too usual for people to sit there and do the sit-down portraits at conventions.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I was very nervous when I first did.
You're blowing the curve for everybody else.
Well, I've got it down to about a 10-minute portrait now.
Really?
Yeah, for those sketches.
Wow, that's impressive.
But, yeah, blasting through them.
And a lot of them look like you have like some cool sepia tone look to them.
Yeah, I experiment with just color pencils. And using a burnt sienna and sometimes a burnt umber color pencil, I can just get some nice fleshy tones very quickly.
That's cool. Yeah, I really dig the look of those. And then, yeah, some of the ones, it looks like you did different wedding pictures for people.
Oh, yes. I got a commission to do like an Art Nouveau style, like Alphonse Mucha. I like trying to draw in a different style, just, to experiment.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to take on anything, really.
Now, when you were a teacher, did you have any students that really took off with their art, or anybody that you fostered in making a career out of it?
Yeah, I suppose like any teacher, you have those success stories that you carry around just to remind you how rewarding the job can be. So you can forget about all the stresses that mostly you had to deal with.
Forget, at least for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think one of the first pictures I saw of yours was a Wolverine one that was in, I don't know if it was colored pencil or if it was acrylics, but it was just him with the blades.
Oh, yes.
It looked really clean.
That was actually my first experimental piece with my airbrush. So I blocked in the grounds and the background colours with the airbrush, and then it's rendered in colouring pencil.
Yeah, that's very clean.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Do you have any other projects coming up that you're really looking forward to?
Well, the new cards for Breygent I'm really excited about, but there's also a set I'm doing for Brains, which is Beauty and the Myth. So that's like a pin-up with a fantasy creature for each card. So that's an interesting project as well.
Yeah, it's got a cool twist to it.
Yeah.
Is this the first time working with Breygent, with the ones for the Ladies of Chaos?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and he's also given me American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, season 2 they're going to be working on.
nice big, like
5x7s, I think.
That's right, yeah, 5x7.
So,
and
do you
also,
like doing sketch card size, or like find it challenging, or which do you prefer?
No, I don't mind. I mean, I've done a few comic sketch covers, blank covers now, yeah, I don't mind working at any size because some of the big paintings I've done are up to like 20-inch by 24. So yeah, I also used to do a lot of set painting for stage productions.
Oh, really?
So I go really big.
I bet. Yeah, I can do bigger work, but I usually kind of take my work around with me, so that way if I'm like at work or somewhere else, I can work on it like on a clipboard. So when it's a really big piece for me, I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up a lot of times.
Right, yeah. No, that's the convenient thing with cards, isn't it? You can work anywhere.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's so portable. Do you have any conventions upcoming soon?
Next weekend, I'm actually going back to my old hometown where I used to grow up. And it's a very small convention, but a nice friendly one. But the next big one is in London in May. That's called MCM Comic Con, and that's probably the biggest one in Britain.
And you were just talking to the non-sport collective creator Darren Patrick at a convention recently, weren't you?
That's right, yeah, in Birmingham MCM, which is close to Darren's hometown. Yeah, it was great to meet him finally.
Is that a big convention, or is that a rather small one?
That one, that's always been paired with memorabilia, which is kind of like a sort of autograph signings kind of convention, combined with its the comic book element. It's a medium-sized one, I would say.
Okay. So is pinup work your favorite? Is that what you just really get the most enjoyment out of doing?
I call it therapy. Yeah, that's what I enjoy doing most.
Have you ever been over here to the States to do any conventions over here?
I have actually done San Diego Comic-Con as a visitor, so I'd like to go back again as an exhibitor and actually having established myself. So maybe in a short while.
Yeah, you get a few months. I think it's July, so
well,
start booking.
Not this year, but yeah, soon.
Is there any other than the projects you're starting to work on now, is there anywhere you want your art to take you in the future?
Yes, I would really like to get a whole load of my own personal works underway. Got hundreds of ideas jotted down, but the commissions take priority. I am working towards maybe getting a gallery exhibition together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so maybe some more serious kind of, not necessarily fine art that can be taken seriously rather than just comic book stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, you said you've done some of the comic covers. How do you like the surface on those?
It varies, doesn't it? I mean, some cardstock is a bit shiny and glossy. It's kind of China-faced. But then I think the airbrushing really helps me because I always start with a pencil tonal grayscale sketch, and then I airbrush over the top with a kind of thin layer of acrylics. But that tends to give me a nice ground to then build up with the colour pencils. So that works well. Do
you enjoy doing licensed characters more, or do you like using your imagination and doing more fantasy stuff?
I don't mind either way, actually. When I'm at a convention and waiting for customers to sketch or to make sales, I actually do a lot of just random doodling, and sometimes those sketches are the most successful ones because I'm not thinking about them at all.
Just going with it.
Yeah, they just sort of emerge.
Do you have a least favorite thing to draw?
I don't. I have to labour at backgrounds. I can and will do them, but by choice, usually I just focus on the central figure because that's the most fun.
Yeah, I share that philosophy.
Yeah.
Now, where are the good sites to find your current works and some samples of your stuff?
I've got a domain name for a web site which is in development, but I've been uploading my work onto DeviantArt, and I've got a Facebook page which has been up for a couple of years now. Okay, and then anybody listening and watching, we'll have the addresses posted down below, so you can click on them and check out Huy's work and commission him for either a small or large piece.
If there's something that you could change about your art, is there anything that you would do differently if you could, or something that you just want to expand to?
I think my main aim in terms of developing my art is now to go in more depth in terms of telling stories. So I know it's comfortable to do the pin-ups and to do the character sketches, but to actually compose and put together, a whole story in a painting, I'd like to go, and develop more finished pieces, I think.
Do you have any aspiration to do full-on comic work?
Yes, I have actually got 3 different scripts that I've been working on over the years. Sequential is labour intensive, and I would love the luxury of having the time to really sort of delve into them. But I only dip into them every now and then when I find the urge takes me to really sort of get stuck in. But they're in the background, and I think it's going to be a few years until I actually finish any scripts.
Do you collect art as well, or you just provide the art?
I'm very hungry for visual reference. I collect all my art digitally now because it's easier for storage.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to buy art when I can afford to. And I have got a very big collection of art books because I stopped collecting comics because I kind of lost track of what to follow. And when it comes to the comic books and fantasy art books and stuff, it is mainly the art that I'm actually appreciating. So I would buy like an Adam Hughes art book or a Drew Struzan art book over collecting comics regularly.
Yeah, I know Drew Struzan is remarkable.
Yeah.
Now, I saw one piece you did, and I think you called it Slain, and it looked kind of Conan-esque.
Oh, yes. That's a 2000 AD character.
Okay.
The British comic 2000 AD has been around for maybe 30 years now, I think. But yeah, that was one of my favourite. It's very similar to Conan, but it's very firmly based on Celtic folklore.
It looks like he's into Motorhead. It looks like a Motorhead logo cod piece
That's
on him.
Right. Yeah.
was that part of the character, or did you throw that in there?
No, that is actually part of his character design. And if you've heard of Simon Bisley, he kind of immortalised Slain in full colour back in the 90s. So it's kind of mostly based on his version.
Okay, very cool. Where do you get most of your inspiration for your art?
I would say probably movies, because I'm a massive cinephile. I watch just about everything. But I think in terms of trying to capture some kind of narrative or interesting angles in a picture, I live and breathe movies. Yeah,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Do you have a certain vein of movie that you like more than another, or you just everything?
A good story will always win over, any particular genre. But no, I've always been a sci-fi geek growing up. But yeah, anything that tells a good story, really. I appreciate all kinds of genres.
Is there any movie that you wish a project would come out for that you could work on, like a licensed set would come out that you'd get the call for, like Star Wars or Star Trek or anything that you'd love to work on?
Oh, yeah, I would say all of it, really. I have actually just recently tried to contact Rittenhouse and Cryptozoic, who've got some really good licenses. Presently, I've been watching Supernatural, so I've been doing some sketching of those characters. Because I always like to have something on while I'm working. And I suppose I'm really into whatever that I'm watching at that time.
Right. I know sometimes it's really cool to be watching the same subject matter that you're drawing.
Yeah.
Inspirational.
Yes.
When you said you don't collect comics anymore, but when you were younger, was there any particular comics that influenced you?
I grew up reading comics in the late 80s boom of comics and the emergence of the graphic novel. So my first graphic novel was Watchmen first edition that I bought. And I loved Frank Miller back then, and I thought he had a really cool take on storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose trying to remember, I think Daredevil was the only series I really avidly collected back then.
Uh-huh.
But then, I'd be introduced to whatever good, story arcs that were happening at the time, and I'd just pick it up from there. Alan Moore is another favourite of mine. I collected the V for Vendetta series.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was mind-blowing.
That was great.
Yeah, just the scope of it.
I'd say go ahead and tell everybody where they can get a hold of you for some commissions.
Yeah, you can find my work on my DeviantArt page, Huy Truong on DeviantArt. And I have a Facebook page, which is Huy Truong Illustrations.
We'll have everything to contact you available here. They can just click on it. They don't even have to hear and write it down.
No, that's fantastic. That's good.
So, I really appreciate you being on, Huy. Great seeing your work, and good luck with all your other artistic endeavors.
Thank you very much, Tim. Cheers.
And then everybody listening, this has been another edition of the Non-Sport Collective. We'll have more interviews coming up soon.